Tonight, we'll be discussing the call for review of the free senior high school by the main opposition party, NDC, and recently CHASS, Conference of Heads and Assistant Secondary School. They are also calling for a review. They are taking this review from different angles. They are saying that PTA is not receiving any money to promote the developmental project in the senior high school. So we're looking at the two angles today, and I have our regular guest, Mr. Bonto Ekins, who is a political communication analyst and educationist. He will be helping us to delve into this issue today. I'll be back. Stay tuned. You are welcome back to the TheDailyfocus. My name is Joseph Kofi. Tonight we have in the studio our regular guest, Mr. Bonto Ekins, who is a political communication analyst and educationist. Tonight we'll be discussing the call for a review of the free SHS by the opposition party, NDC, and CHASS, Conference of Heads and Assistant Secondary School. Mr. Ekins, you are welcome to the TheDailyfocus.
Thank you, my brother, and let me say a very good evening to your cherished viewers out there, as well as a good evening to my family, especially my wife, for allowing me to be on your show this evening.
Okay, thank you. So today we are looking at the call for a review of the free SHS by the main opposition party, NDC, and then recently Conference of Heads of Assistant Secondary School, CHASS. They are also calling for a review of the free senior high school implemented by the current government, NPP. NDC is also saying when they come back to power, they are going to review it even better. And CHASS is also saying that developmental projects that normally done by PTA is no longer existing because they are not paying any PTA dues anymore. What's your take on all these issues?
Thank you once again. You seem to be bombarding me with a lot of questions at the same time, but let me take it from this angle. Let me start with that of CHASS, that's Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools. I read their reasons, or the main reason why they are calling for a review. They stated that currently, if you go to their various schools, they have abandoned projects that were started by Parent Teachers Association before the free SHS came into being. So their reason for the call for the review is that the government should allow them go back to their normal routine where PTAs are built or parents are given certain amount to pay to support developmental agenda of their various schools.
Okay.
In the first place,
the government pay for PTA.
Yes, that was what I was going to say. In the first place, PTA levies are paid by the government as part of free SHS. I think the government pays about 50 Ghana cedis per child for as PTA levy for every student enjoying free SHS. Now let's come back to their call for a review because of they not getting money from PTA to develop their schools. You see, that is where I think sometimes as heads or leaders of institutions, we need to be innovative. I think if a PTA, formerly, PTAs were basically made as a means of making money with the idea of developing the school, but mostly it ends up developing some heads of schools rather. You see, a time came in this country where some secondary schools were running government-owned secondary schools as private entities to enrich themselves. We had situations in this country where schools, some secondary school heads were charging 200, 300, as much as 500 Ghana cedi as PTA, all in the name of development. The question is, assuming a child from the streets ends up in secondary school, and that child is not able to pay that 200 or 500 development levy, probably agreed on by various the school's PTA. What happens to that child? So the reason they gave for the review, to me, is nothing to call for. In a sense that you can't call for a review just because you are not getting money. As we speak now, almost every secondary school in this country you visit, there is a developmental project going on which is being undertaken by the government of this country. Currently, as we speak now, we have about 266 projects that are already completed in most of the secondary schools in this country. And we still have about 566 various projects and various stages of completion or construction taking place in the various secondary schools as we speak now.
What about the NDC goals that are abandoned? Yes.
Are you talking about the E-blocks?
Yes, the E-blocks.
My check shows, the NDC sent this figure out. You see, politicians are in a way that they are able to throw figures into the system. Because people, some of our journalists are not doing us so much good to go to the grounds and confirm or not whether whatever a politician is putting across is true. The former administration, which is NDC administration, claimed they have built over 120 E-blocks. They have actually built and completed over 120 E-blocks in this country. But my check shows that before they left power in 2016, they had completed 27 E-blocks throughout Ghana. Out of these over 120 blocks they claim they built, they completed only 27. And as we speak now, the current government has completed 29 of the uncompleted E-blocks the former administration started. I am familiar with some of the constituencies and I took it upon myself to make some checks. You go to Teshi. If you look at the list presented by NDC, that for the 120 or over 120 E-blocks built, I think 110 or 111 on that list is a block that was supposed to have been built at Teshi, that is the North, which is the place is directly behind Lekma Hospital in Teshi. My brother, you go there now and it's a tipper track station. That E-block was built on a billboard prior to 2016 election. I remember President Mahama came, cut the sword somewhere in November 2016 for that E-block to be built. And as we speak now, it's built on a billboard. Meanwhile, they threw the figures into the system, claiming that they have built 120 or over 120 E-blocks. You go to I have a with some of the locations they cited some of these e-blocks. You agree with me that if you go to outside the cities, if you go outside the cities, most of our secondary schools, I agree that are cited in the outskirts of the towns, sometimes even in the bush. That is why we are made boarding house. There is a block, an e-block belt between Kwame along the Uti, between Nkonya and Abotuasi, which is in the Biakuye constituency and the Biakuye district. There is an e-block belt between Kwame and Abotuasi. My brother, the distance between Kwame to where the e-block is built, which is actually a bush, is about 5 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. And that block is supposed to cater for day students. If a child stays at one group, and that block is supposed to serve students in the Biakuye constituency, the Biakuye district, the mistake the government of that time made was that the government should have added a boarding facility to it. Or better still, we have Nkonya Senior High at Biakuye in the district, or at Biakuye constituency. We have Rara Secondary School, Biakuye district. Instead of building this e-block, that block or that money for that particular e-block should have been divided into two. Give half of that block to Nkonya Senior High, half of that block to Rara Secondary School, and it would have given them the opportunity to do what? Accommodate or admit more students into these various secondary schools. As we go, if you go there now, that building is almost a white elephant. The current government is now thinking of adding a boarding facility to it to make sure
that the reason why they are trying to purchase school bus for that purpose.
The idea for this e-block, I learned they were going to make available school buses. The previous government claimed it was going to make available school buses to convey students in and out. But the current government has provided almost every secondary school with a bus. The idea is that this bus is supposed to help the students move out of the school for programs and back to the school premises. So the buses are for movement of kids, not necessarily from home to school, but from school to programs outside the school premises. So with the review, let me come back to the review the NDC is talking about.
But before that, let's go for a short break. We'll be back. Hello, you are welcome back to the Daily Focus. My name is Joseph Kofi, and we are discussing the call for a review of the free senior high school implemented by the current government. And I have in the house Mr. Ponto Sedikins. He's helping us to delve into this issue. So you are welcome back once again. Mr. Akins. Okay, so we are moving straight to the NDC government. They are also calling for review. They are saying that when they come back to power, they are going to review this free SHS. They are going to abolish the double track system, and they will implement it even better than the current government. What's your take on that?
We were in this country, my brother. Prior to 2012 election, actually 2008 election, 2012 election, and 2016 election. One of the flagship promise of the current MPP government is to introduce free secondary school when they come to power. Can you tell me any flagship program that NDC spoke about right from 2008 2016? You can't. And if you bring any NDC member to your show and you ask him their campaign message, even throughout the 2016 election, they have none, especially when it comes to education. When the current government was campaigning in 2016, promising free SHS, almost every NDC member said categorically that free SHS is not going to be possible in this country. If some went to the extent of saying, even if it will be possible, it will be possible after 20 years from 2016.
But now they said they started.
Fine. You see, I always say that when it comes to free SHS, I don't even want to hear that they started it. Because they report their current running mate, them as education minister, presented the handing over mate. He presented to the current minister for education. She stated clearly in her handing over note that the 35 Ghana cedi version that they allocated for their students were not paid since they introduced it. So if somebody who could not even pay 35 Ghana cedi, how are you telling me that that person today or one day, if they are able to come to power, they can pay over 1,000 cedis per child? Let's even look at that. They are calling for every fee. They said they are going to abolish the double track next academic year. That is if they win power December election and come to power in January 2021.
Within 1 year or academic year?
One academic year, hopefully, meaning starting hopefully from September if they win election.
Okay.
This was what they did in 2008.
Okay.
Before 2008 election, I think somewhere 2004, 2006, the then NDC government moved the secondary school education from 3 years to 4 years.
Okay.
Therefore, they reviewed the curriculum or the content being learned at the secondary school level. That committee was then headed by Professor Josephus Anna, a former Vice Chancellor of University of Education, one of the finest educationists we have in the world. They introduced 4-year education system, a secondary school education system, therefore reviewed the curriculum. When NDC took power in 2009, they only abolished the 4-year system, they reversed it to 3 years without reviewing the syllabus or the curriculum.
Okay.
That is a poor way of reviewing something. Now they are saying, I heard they will review the free SHS by abolishing the double track. What is the reason behind the double track? The basic reason why this double track was introduced is that our schools are overpopulated. Therefore, our schools need to be decongested.
Okay.
So the idea or the reason why they introduced the double track is that the next 7 years, we've done about 3 years or 2 to 3 years of it. So by the next 4 to 5 years, secondary schools across the country would have been equipped with a lot of facilities that would be able to accommodate all our kids so that they won't do this double track again. Not even withstanding that. Now let's come back. Even with the double track,
Someone saying that why not they build the infrastructures first before implementing the
my brother, so till 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, that infrastructure across secondary schools will be able to accommodate all the kids that will be GHS. Are they telling me that we should continue leaving our students after GHS to be on the streets? If you say we should wait and build or equip all our secondary schools with all the facilities they need before every child that completes GHS will have access to secondary school, what it means is that at the end of every year or at the beginning of every academic year, we will be throwing about 100,000 kids to the streets. What it means is that about 100,000 kids out of the 500 to 600,000 kids brother, let me tell you something. When we were in school, before this double track or before free SHS, you normally complete JHS April, May, June. Your results will come somewhere September. You go to school first term somewhere around October, November. I remember when we went to secondary school, even as of December, kids were still reporting to school. So you go, the moment you go to school, orientation and all, before you realize October is gone. Full academic work usually starts in November. That was before free SHS. So you realize that the first term of your first year in school, you are doing less than 1 month academic work. Because the moment you start academic or teaching and learning in somewhere November, by December 15th, you need to come back home for Christmas or holidays. So you realize that first terms, you do just about 1 month. Second term, you do about 3 months. Third term, you do about 3 months. So in all, you are doing about 7 months out of the 12 months. Okay. So in about 5 months, you will be spending these 5 months at home. Now, if you look at the double track now, you even get to know that the timetable is structured in the way that the kids have more contact hours. Okay. That is why more teachers are employed or were employed to cater for these extra kids that will be coming to school. So my brother, as for the contact hours, unless those who really want to blindfold themselves with political colors, but I have NDC friends and MPP friends who are teachers, and when we meet our friends, they tell us that no, this time around is more contact hours. But in any case, because we are blindfolded with our political influences, we don't want it. But in any case, as I always say, the double track system, people always make excuses that this time around when the kids come home, they need to stay home for about a month or 2 months, and parents must need to pay for.
Okay, so before we get there, viewers, this is the Daily Focus. My name is Joseph Kofi. I have in the studio Mr. Bonto Ose-Ekins, and we are discussing the call for review of the free SHS by the main opposition party, NDC, and CHASS currently. Okay, so some parents are saying they spend more money because they're in the house.
My brother, maybe before I even come to that, as part of NDC's promise, they said they are going to introduce the free SHS into the various private secondary schools. My brother, that will be a disaster. We have secondary schools. The reason why this free SHS was not extended to the private secondary schools, you know, the fact is that private secondary schools, as government secondary schools, we have category A, B, C of them. There are some private secondary schools that they cannot even venture, especially those running the British curriculum and the Cambridge courses. They can't even venture. Now, when it goes to other private schools or the lesser private schools, for instance, they are not able to run effective teaching and learning in these private secondary schools. The reason is more costly to run private secondary school than to run private basic or JHS and primary school. Why? Because if you have about 5 students who are reading science, pure science, meaning you must employ about 8-9 teachers to teach these students. I do physics in the university. I majored in physics. What it means is that if I'm employed in a private secondary school to teach, I can teach physics and integrated science, it ends there. Or maybe elective maths or chemistry. So if you are running all the courses in a private school, what it means is that you need to employ more teachers, possibly to teach lesser students. Another thing is, who will be paying those private school teachers that you have employed as a businessman? Who will be paying them? Are you saying the government should extend his salary to those private school teachers that you have employed? Then it's better the government spending that money to expand the infrastructure in the various secondary schools. spending so much on vacation classes. My brother, even if the double track were not implemented, any serious parent with his or her child in secondary school, even if the child comes home 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that parent will still engage a teacher to teach that child at home. We have situations where previously a child will even come in for a meeting and parents do contract some first to teach them within that period to prepare the child or to equip the child better before going back to school. So my brother, with the review issue, you see, if I have implemented something, I have my motive for implementing whatever I have brought on board. Therefore, I'm in a good position to review it. Okay, what if one day the opposition comes to power and they say, okay, after reviewing the free SHS, we have come to a conclusion that it's not sustainable. Therefore, we are cancelling free SHS. Because to review something is either to upgrade it or cancel it. So, opposition calling for a review, I think even morally, that is why I made in one of my submissions before that politicians are not making we the youth enjoy politics. When I say enjoy politics, they don't talk in a manner that will make us see them to be truthful. Because something that we run over 40 TV and radio adverts against, that somebody can never implement it. Now the person has implemented it, you want to review, then allow the person to continue implementing what he has brought on board and review it to a point where he feels is sustainable. You see, despite all this, we know that free SHS, there are challenges. Like every policy, when implemented, do come with issues. You remember very well in 2017 when the free SHS was implemented, and the government said they are starting with those going to SHS first year. People came up, opposition came up that free SHS that you say you are going to implement, and you are giving it to only those in SHS 1. Every policy must start somewhere, and the moment it comes to play, it comes with challenges. One of the challenges is that they know population in our various secondary schools will increase. And when it increases, there will be challenges with what? Accommodation, classroom, there will be congestion everywhere. That is why I said earlier, the government is building more infrastructures in our various secondary schools just to accommodate. Notwithstanding, it's not every secondary school in Ghana that is running the local track. Some are running the normal track that we know. Why? Because they have enough space to accommodate. And between now and 4 or 5 years time, every secondary school would have been equipped with all the necessary infrastructure needed to be able to run our normal system, first and second and third. But let me tell you something.
Okay, before your final word, this is the daily focus. You can keep your comments coming. I've received some couple of your messages. You can keep your messages coming. And if you want to be a panelist on this show, you can call us on 0545 414427. And if you want to sponsor, you want to place your adverts here, you can call us on 0545 414427. This is the daily focus. My name is Joseph Kofi. And I have in the house Mr. Bonto saying Akins. Okay, so your final word.
My final word is that we agree that the free SHS, like any other policy, if you remember, when President Kufuor introduced the National Health Insurance, the moment you have a card, you can only access healthcare within the district that you registered. As we speak now, the National Health Insurance is nationwide. And as we speak now, you can even renew your National Health Insurance on your phone. So like any other policy, any policy that is introduced comes with its own challenges. The challenge is that the current government has identified accommodation or congestion as a challenge. That is why we will not say till all infrastructures are built, kids should end up on the street so that schools will only accommodate those qualified to be part of to enjoy secondary education or free SHS. But now basic education is being redefined. Formerly, basic education starts from preschool to JHS. But now this government is redefining basic education that will terminate at secondary school level. So what it means is that some years to come, any Ghanaian child we meet will have at least a minimum of secondary school education certificate or WASI certificate. So what I want to say is that we know that the policy has its own challenges. Let's come together as Ghanaians. Let's help the government. Let's support the government. If the PTA or the Conference of Heads of Schools the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools want a way of generating money to develop, or they still want to engage the PTA to support in infrastructure development, I think anytime they call for a PTA, it should rather be done in a form of appeal. You call for a PTA. Last time I went for my daughter's PTA, one of my boss PTA meeting, and at the end of the day, an appeal was made. So heads can adopt that, call for appeal. We want to build this hall or this classroom. Anything you have to support there at the meeting, you do that. If everything, an appeal is made, and those who can support do that within a year or two, a particular block would have been completed. But rather, let's all come together, support the government, because these free SHS, as I always say, half education, my brother, is better than no education.
Okay, this is the Daily Focus. My name is Joseph.